Welcome back to a Whatever Wednesday. It is BMARSZ here, coming at you with a solo bang today. Oh, I guess not solo, you know Kyra's always around. Today I am eating a poke bowl. Me and Chantal actually made our own poke bowls. We'll have it pop up in the cards right now that were vegan, but this one is not. I got it from a place down the street called Hokey Pokey. You'll love a good pun. So what's fun about Hokey Pokey's, it's kind of like a Chipotle style sushi bowl place. So I pulled up the menu. I got half white rice, half mixed greens. And let's see, I got spicy tuna, aloha tuna. This is an old menu, whatever. I got like spicy tuna, a marinated salmon, cucumbers, mangoes, edamame, habanero peppers, pickled ginger, seaweed sprinkles, sesame, and I think that's it. It looks amazing. I also got this side of lavender lemonade hibiscus tea mix. So that's really good. I'm gonna start digging in before I get into the bulk of this video, but of course, as you can tell from the title of this video, I did a little Q&A over on my personal Instagram and the Mukbang Instagram, and I have a lot of fun things to answer for you guys. So, okay, that's better. Now cheers. Oh, my crazy neighbor's outside. All right, my neighbor finally left. She's literally so loud. Unfortunately, my apartment is right by the mailbox. It's really annoying. I also got crispy onions. Wow, this ginger is really strong. Give me that rice. Yes. This is my first meal of the day, guys. I'm kind of trying to do intermittent fasting, but it's really hard when you don't have a set schedule. I love mango and sashimi. Okay, one more. Oh god, this is so fresh. It's like exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna try to lump together questions that are similar, so multiple of your questions that were similar, I'll just have them pop up. So here's a popular one. Why did you decide to begin a mukbang channel with Shanti? I feel like this was answered at some point in time, but it's not like we have a dedicated video around it, I don't think. But basically, me and Chantal started mukbanging because we liked watching them, especially Mommy Tang. And we both make personal channel videos that are more short form and take a lot of editing and work. And we were like, it would be fun to try this new, different style out, or new to us, which is long form, podcasty type videos that involve eating, because obviously Chantal's cooking, so there's always food to eat. And we also wanted to kind of normalize the concept that vegans and non-vegans can be friends, because that is not really shown in a lot of places. So, A, we liked watching them, and B, we thought it was a good way to kind of spread a message. Because vegans, A, get a bad rep. Like, non-vegans are always like, oh, vegans are the most annoying. And then vice versa, vegans are attacking people all the time and making this like negative environment, and then wondering why people don't want to become vegan. Like, I literally got this comment today on my Instagram. And it's funny because my initial reaction was like, F you and your whole community and whatever you're about. Even if it was like not something that was a good cause, which veganism is, you just turn people off with that kind of attitude. And I think me and Chantal wanted to kind of break that stereotype. And I think a lot of you have noticed that. Like we get positive comments like, it's so cool that BMARSZ is so open to all these vegan foods, and other people saying it's so cool that Chantal isn't bothered when I am eating meat next to her. Because just because someone doesn't eat the same way as you doesn't mean you should like cut them out of your life. That's like if you were, you know, Christian and you're like, I can only be friends with my religious views. Then you're missing out on all the amazing Muslims or Buddhists. I almost said Buddhism, but it's Buddhists. You know, you're picking up what I'm throwing down. You know what I mean? Like, just because there's one thing that you don't see eye to eye on doesn't mean that person still isn't awesome and you should like have them in your life in some facet. So that's kind of why we started. I'm sorry if you're an OG and you like already knew the answer to that. I love white rice. So I got this one also a lot. If you didn't major in dance, what would you major in? Or if you weren't a dancer, what would you be? I think what I would have done if I wasn't in dance is probably do something with psychology. Now the school I went to for the Conservatory of the Performing Arts, we have to take so many classes outside of our major, which is like a requirement. And I took all sociology, psychology classes. I just think the human mind is so interesting. Like, I don't know what makes people the way they are, and nature versus nurture, those type of questions just really get me going. Whoa. I feel like that's why I get so into like the Sword and Scale podcast or the Ted Bundy tapes and all this stuff, because it's like psychologically what happened. Like, I just want to know. Same with even the Michael Jackson documentary that just came out. I'm just like, whether he did do it or he didn't do it, what's more interesting is that man's brain, because damn, it is messed up. Like, but how could it not be when your father's beating you from that young of an age and you're like shoved into the starlight at 6 years old? Like, how, I just, you know, that type of stuff is fascinating to me. And I do feel like I love helping people, so maybe I would have been a psychologist. Like, obviously I'm not a trained professional, but I do find that my friends come to me a lot for advice or comfort. So I don't know. I'd like to hope that I'm very empathetic and make people feel better. But yeah. That's what I do. One that I'm getting kind of often or like versions of it is how's living with Max no sleeves. And someone actually said, you and Max seem to match perfectly, but is there anything, but there has to be some things that annoy you. So living with Max has been awesome. Like, there wasn't really this huge adjustment, I feel like. But I mean, we've been dating for about 3 years. We don't have like an official start date, so when people ask how long we've been dating, I'm like 2015, the end of it. I don't know. But yeah, him moving in, like, it just felt natural and right. But when we were dating, he actually lives like basically 45 minutes an hour from me. So a lot of the times throughout our relationship, we were sleeping over at each other's houses. So we kind of knew how the other person was at home, if that makes sense. Because if you're moving in with someone, you should pretty much know everything about them at that point. At least I think so. And then, yeah, you find out little tics or things that may annoy you, but it's not a deal breaker. And if it is, then it's like, why did you move in the first place? I don't know. I feel like I'm the opposite of every other person my age or YouTuber. Or not just me, but me and Max. Because we took things like slow, I guess. Sorry, I just like hit my teeth. But when I say slow, I mean like, you know, we'd been dating for 3 years and then we moved in together. I hear stories about people like knowing each other for 6 months and getting married and are there in love. And I was in love with Max at 6 months, but that doesn't mean you should like move in with them, because relationships are so much more than the first 2 years. I feel like are a honeymoon phase. And then you go through like, all right, the ups and downs. Like, is this the person the one? What are we really doing here? Blah, blah, blah. And I feel like so many people jump the gun with the moving in thing, especially in LA because the rent is so expensive. And most of the time it just backfires. So it's been amazing. But of course it was because we like took our time and made sure it was right, if that makes sense. Something that I have noticed that he does that annoys me since we moved in, and I know you guys want the tea, is actually something I should have like known and expected, but he just leaves drawers open. I know it's so stupid, but it just makes the room look more messier. And I'm a pretty like neat person. I'm not like a psycho, but you know, if a drawer can be shut, like why don't you? Which I used to do to my mom all the time growing up. Not so much drawers, but like keeping cabinets open. I was the worst, and now I'm like, Jesus, I could see why it's annoying. Carol, you don't need to sit on my lap right now, bro. So, I'll sit up here while I'm eating, okay? So yeah, but I should have already known that because like in all of his YouTube videos, you can see the drawers open in the back of them. So it's like, not that big of a surprise. And also, we'll never break up over it or anything because I was just like, hey, it kind of bothers me that you leave the drawers open. Can you shut them? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And then has made the effort to do that. And that is the key to a successful relationship. Which, I don't know if anyone asked me that, but I feel like I get asked that all the time. Which is listening and compromise. You know, you shouldn't change yourself for anybody. Like your core self. But shit like that, like, come on, bros. Like, if I asked him to close the drawers, Kyra was mad at me. And he was like, oh, that's who I am. Like, that's ridiculous. Just saying. So if you're that person, I'm calling you out. Okay. How did you and Shanti meet? Linked in the cards above. We have a whole video on that. You can watch it after this one. I really like this one. Penny Track. What's your favorite video that you've done with Max? What's your favorite video you've done with Shanti? Both me and Chantal and me and Max have made so many videos together. And I don't know if you guys know that me and Max have a whole show on Facebook called Relationship Goals, so check that out if you have time. Promo. My favorite video I've ever done with Max might be the Whisper Challenge video, because I didn't realize this, but while I was editing it, I was literally like screaming in his face the whole time. And like, he just like didn't tell me and totally took it like a champ. And it's just really funny because before we did it, he was like, just say what you think it is. Like, don't try too hard. And I was like, okay. So literally anything I thought he said, I would just be like, blah, 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 and like word vomit it out. So it's really ridiculous. In the cards. My favorite one was Shanti. You know what comes to mind is our 100 spring rolls. I haven't watched it in a while, but I just remember watching it. Chantal edited that one and she made it so funny because we were physically dying. I don't know why we thought we could do that. We literally put 6 heads of romaine lettuce into all these spring rolls, like, and we thought we could finish it. Like, we truly believed we could finish all those spring rolls. And the way she edited it, I feel like perfectly depicts like the pain and agony we were going through. And it's just, it's a good, funny laugh. That's probably my favorite. Oh, somebody commented, would you ever do a house tour? Please let me know right now if you guys want that. I was planning on doing it. My house is basically almost done with all the things I wanted. And I also want to get Chantal to do it because since we moved out, both of our places are super cute. So if you guys want that, let me know in the comments below. And I'll bully her into making it. This is also a question I got a few times. Oh. Not only in this little shindig, but I've also gotten a lot of times in comments, and now people are starting to attack me on Instagram, which is really fun. But that would be, would you ever consider going vegan? Sorry, it's so good. So the short answer of that would be, yeah, I would. And I have. It's hard now because I think I've made choices now because of Chantal that I would have never thought of before or even considered from not knowing a vegan. And because she's amazing, she's proud of me for those, and I am. But nowadays I try, like, I make sure that all 3 of my meals aren't just meat meals. Like, I try to eat meat once a meal or once a day for a meal. Now I'm eating tofu all the time, stuff like that. For me, it's easier to grasp like making those types of changes than like full on going vegan and quitting cold turkey, because I don't really eat healthy. And the thing is, I feel like I want to make sure I don't offend anybody when I'm talking about these things, because I know it's a very sensitive subject. But a lot of people right now on YouTube are going back on veganism and like going against it and saying, you know, well, I'm not vegan anymore. And I feel like it's not because of veganism. I feel like it's because of their diets that they chose. They took this crazy restrictive diet and was like, you can only eat raw vegetables, or you could only eat 1,000 bananas in the morning, or like these like crazy rules you put on yourself. And whether you're doing a vegan diet, which isn't really a diet, I feel like it's more of a lifestyle, or if you're doing like some beach body, or if you're following one of the diets that like the Fit Plan people do. Anytime you're like restricting your calories and then they're like, oh, I feel bad, and they quit, like I don't want to do that. A. And B, because I mean, I wouldn't go crazy restrictive. I know I would just eat fucking noodles all the time because I don't really like vegetables, and I'm trying. I just never really ate them growing up. I like literally did not eat lettuce until I was in college, and that was my own fault. Like I was just so picky. I used to get grossed out by the veins in leaves. I thought they were like creepy. I don't know why. And I was just always like genetically blessed and skinny, so I didn't have to eat healthy, which I'm really thankful for, but it's also just like an asshole move because I'm just putting shit in my body. And it's not even on my parents. Like I would literally, they would put vegetables in front of me, and then my mom would be like, you can't leave the table until you like finish your vegetables. And I would sit there for hours. Like I was just a dick. So if I became vegan, I would want to like figure out how to do it the healthy way so that I wouldn't like fail or just like become super unhealthy. I saw one vegan that said she wasn't vegan anymore because of, you know, bloating. And I'm like, that's not veganism's fault. That means you're probably allergic to gluten or something else. So A, there's that. I just feel like I wouldn't be able to, I need to figure out how to be healthy with it. So I'm already a junk foodie person. Another thing is when I think about being a vegan, it stresses me out. Like it's such a lifestyle choice. And like, I hate failing. That's the way I feel like I never did sports growing up, or even like playing video games. I remember if I like lost, I'd like throw the controller and be like, ah, like whatever. And I am scared of the vegan community. Just like, I mean, I see people like attack Chantal, who's like God's gift to the vegan community, and they still go after her. So I can't even imagine someone like me, like, I don't know. I know I wouldn't be entering a place where I'm filled with like love and support. I'd be entering a community that would be like trying to tear me down from the beginning. Another thing that worries me about being a vegan is it would be really hard with Max because he's like super into meat. It's like a bro. And I don't know if any of you guys are dating someone who's not vegan and you're vegan, and we just share all of our food and stuff. So I'm like, would I be pressuring him to be a vegan or doing something he doesn't want to do, or just making this awkward dynamic between us? Same with my mom, my parents, like if I was vegan. Like my dad's family are dairy farmers. And my mom, I don't know, she's from Missouri, and she said to me like, oh, like you wouldn't go vegan, right? And like, I just feel like it would like disappoint my family and my boyfriend, which is like messed up. Like I should have the strength to not care, but those are the most important people in my life. I don't know. So would I consider it? Yes, I have. But honestly, I'm just a pussy. The amount of work it would be and disappointing people around me and all of those factors kind of hold me back. And I like the taste of everything. Like, this tastes amazing. I really like cheese. I feel like if it would be easier to go vegan if I'd already be a vegetarian or was lactose intolerant or something, but I just enjoy all of those things, so I don't know. So that's the tea on that. I feel like, I don't know if that made sense, or it probably just sounded like I was giving you a million excuses, which I am. Like, I low-key am just like, it's too much, it's overwhelming for me. Anyway, let's go back on a lighter note to end this, shall we? What's your dream job? It's so funny because I'm always auditioning for random things, so it's probably confusing, but I would say my dream job right now is to book a commercial with residuals. That is the effing dream, y'all. How do I explain this? So basically there are two types of commercials, either ones that have residuals or ones that have a buyout. A lot of dance ones have buyouts, so it's a flat rate. Like, we are going to use you for this campaign for $3,000 buyout. That means they pay $3,000 flat, right? Residuals is when you book something really big, like a campaign for Honda or Nike or one of those huge companies. And every time your commercial airs, you get a residual check. So say you booked a campaign for 10 grand. That's the first time the commercial airs. And the next time you get a check, it's like 9 grand, and then it's 8 grand, and 7. It's not that, it's broken down much different than that, but you kind of get it. So then, like, you know, 6 years later, you're getting a check for $3, but like you're still getting income just because the commercial you shot is still airing, if that makes sense. So that to me is a dream, like getting paid over and over again for something you did once. Goal. I'm basically done with this poke bowl. I have to leave for work in an hour, so I'm gonna save this last little bit and eat it right before I go because I don't want to die during my shift. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, my voice cracked. I hope this Q&A was as fun for you as it was for me. Thank you to everyone who wrote a question. It means so much to me when you guys participate. I hope that if your question wasn't answered, that you ask me it again, and maybe in the future, me and Chantal will do one of these tag team style since we both did solo ones. If you like this type of solo mukbang, make sure you let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Comment below all your thoughts on my answers today. I really love that the mukbang fam is a positive, safe, happy environment, and thank you guys so much for creating that for us because there's a lot of hate in the YouTube community right now. So we are so grateful. And that's basically where I'm gonna wrap this up. So whatever Wednesday, out.